ITED, Ilocotech Support Group, Ilocos trainers, educators, and developers. Inspire and support diversity toward inclusive growth. Transform and empower individuals with ethics and professionalism. Educate and provide holistic developments and trainings. ITED, Ilocotech Support Group.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone. Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Naimbag nga aldaw tayo amin. Welcome our dear participants to today's event. I am Janet C. Rivera, a college faculty. And ang makakasama ko po ngayon all throughout hanggang matapos po ang event natin. He is a teacher din po at isa po siyang Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2. An amazing person, Sir Jubel Acosta. Good afternoon, Sir Jubel.
Wow naman, ma'am, sa introduction mo, nakakahiya naman. But anyway, should I say na imbag nga malemtay amin, gagayem ken kakabsat who are here with us. Tama po si Ma'am Janet. We are here on behalf of the ITED or the Ilocotech Support Group who are here to give you the best webinar that we have. Wow naman. Pressure tayo sa best webinar. The very first webinar.
Yes, sir. So, before tayo mag-start, sir, ang daming dumarating na mga participants dito. Madami akong nakikita, di ba? So, by the way, kindly type your name and your division or school or address in our comment box or chat box for us to identify and of course, acknowledge kung sino-sino po ang mga kasama natin ngayon. Thank you so much.
Ayun. So magpapakilala kami sa inyo, ma'am, sirs. We are the ITED Ilocotech Support Group. So this is the first initiative of the Ilocano community. Particularly, it is headed by this support group na kung saan bigyan ko lang kayo ng background kung paano ito nabuo, itong Ilocotech Support Group. Diba, ma'am? Actually, we are from the different sectors. Meron po mga members po ng team namin na from private sectors, meron din po from public sectors or from the DepEd, and meron din pa from the state universities who are here to inspire, to transform and empower, as well as to educate and provide holistic developments and trainings to the whole Ilocano community. Diba po, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is true. Though we are in the ups and down version nga ng pandemic, di ba? Na kung saan hindi po natin alam kung kailan po siya matatapos, this will be the right time for us to help one another na kahit pinagdaraanan po natin siya ngayon, hindi po tayo patitinag. So, laban lang. And that is why we are, the ITED Group inspires and helps you, lalong-lalo na po tayong mga Ilocano, to face the new normal and with 21st century learning.
Yes, at tatandaan po natin, siyempre, brag ko na rin tong grupo na to. It is the first initiative of the Ilocos region to provide helping hands to our community. Kaya po sa mga guro natin or Ilocano community na nangangailangan ng assistance when it comes to the utilization of technology, we are here to give you a free, ulitin ko po yung mga free webinars or free trainings for you. We have a lot of trainers and speakers who are here to help you hand in hand. Ayun, ma'am. I think marami na tayo na mga ngayon, participants. Then mag-shout-out na tayo, ma'am, no?
Yes, sir. Here with us today, Mr. Rene Castillo. Shout out po sa mga taga-Ingkat. We have also Ma'am Betty de la Cruz. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. We have Sir Gilson Corpus Lucero. Good afternoon, sir.
Yan,
Oh,
meron
Ma'am
din si Ma'am
Grace.
Grace.
Oo. Ma'am Grace Tumaneng from Shamrock Elementary School. Yes, sir. Then we have also Sir Jubel. We have
Ma'am or sir po, sir, Melitson Salvador from
okay from
Teams
Ilocos Norte National
National High
High
School.
School. And we
Sabi
have
nga,
also Ma'am
ayun, meron din si Ma'am Ellie
Ma'am
Diliacuna. Hello, nice watching and listening. Yes,
Good
ma'am, don't
afternoon,
worry po.
ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon
But
po.
don't worry, we will give you a high caliber webinar for today's session. And
Yes. Sir, we have also Ma'am Jaisal Ann Ramos Passion from Northwestern University.
ayan, meron akong
Wow.
supporter. Ayan.
Yes. And hindi naman patitinag po. We have also from Mariano Marcos State University College
Ayan.
of Teachers Education. Ma'am Eliza Samson. Good afternoon,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am.
Yes,
Ayun.
hello
Sige po,
po.
sa mga pupunta pa lang po dito sa webinar, joining pa lang po, you can still type your name, your division, or your school so that we can recognize you during this webinars natin for today. And ma'am, I think nandito ngayon sa ating screen kung ano yung ating webinar title for today. It's called Conquering the North through Google Workspace for Education 2021. Ayun.
Yes,
So, sa
sir.
tingin mo ma'am, ano yung mga uh, i-expect ng ating mga participants for today's session?
Okay, Sir Jubel, ang daming i-expect ng mga participants natin in today's event. We have the topics to be discussed in this event it is not only just an overview, it is an insight of the speakers that will provide us information on how we will be going to handle challenges and how we will be able to use ways with the help of technology, especially yung Google tools natin. So this will
Ayun.
help us, oo, ang dami talagang tumutulong yung technology talaga. So it will help us to identify the importance of Google Workspace to distance
Ah,
learning. Oo.
tama
Then,
ma'am.
we have also integrate technology in teaching and learning and identify the four C's, Sir Jubel, of the 21st century learning. And of course, we will going to discuss digital citizenship that can help students and others behave online.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay.
Tamang-tama po yan, ma'am. I-highlight lang natin for today's webinar, it will be an overview of those na nasabi ni Ma'am Janet. Na ibig sabihin, pag overview is just a small bits of what we will be discussing. But don't worry, you will be expecting a lot of webinars na kung saan we will be discussing thoroughly and comprehensively all the topics to be discussed today. Our goal for today is just to give you the beauty or to help you appreciate and understand how relevant is Google Workspace for education. Tama po, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yun. So, kung gaano nakakatulong talaga yung Google Workspace for Education natin, especially yung Google, di po ba, sir? So,
So amin nga fellow teachers no kayat iti karoon iti personalized training nga kailangan nyo ti speakers or trainers ti nag-discuss for Google Workspace. We have here Google certified educators. Meron na rin po tayong Google certified trainer to extend
yes.
help to your school. And don't forget, ulit-ulitin din natin, it's free. Tama po ba, ma'am?
True, sir. It
Ayan.
is free. Then, pag nag-join po tayo ng ganitong trainings or yung webinars, meron po siyang certificate.
So don't forget later on, as you go on, meron po kaming ibibigay sa inyong e-certificate.
Yes,
Ayan,
true, Sir
so nabanggit mo
Jubel.
na ang e-certificate, ma'am. I think very excited na ako to hear our first speaker or to listen to our first speaker. So before that, ma'am, meron ka bang mga reminders sa ating mga participants?
Okay, so again po, yung mga kapapasok pa lang po or papasok pa lang dito sa event natin, again po, kindly type your name, your division, your school, or address in our comment box. Thank you so much. So there you have it, Sir Jubel. We have a few reminders na dapat po nating gawin. There is an allotted time for the open forum. Feel free to ask questions in our comment box, but do reserve it in our open forum. And we also welcome suggestions and comments po sa inyong lahat. And before po na matatapos ang event natin, we have an evaluation form for you to fill out and magkakaroon po tayo ng yun, sinabi kanina yung electronic certificate or the e-certificate. At makikita po natin yung link mamaya dito sa comment box natin, yung evaluation form. Di po ba, Sir
Yes
Jubel?
po, ma'am. Ayun, ma'am, hindi na natin papatagalin. I-introduce ko
Oo.
na ang ating first speaker for today's session.
Okay, so i-introduce na natin, sir. But before, ang dami-dami talagang pumapasok, sir, ngayon. Hindi ko mapigilan ang sarili ko. I will shout out naman po. Please
Of
naman po
course,
give time.
ma'am.
Opo,
Yan. We will.
we have Sir Michael Edralin from Poway National High
Ayun. Hello,
School.
Sir
Yes,
Michael.
we have also Ma'am Mary Ann from INCAT. Ma'am Reyna Beth Sadang. Of course, from INCAT din po siya si Ma'am Reyna Beth. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon
Ayun.
po sa inyong lahat.
Umaarangkada ang
Thank
ating
you.
mga fellow in-cutters dito ngayon.
Yes, sir.
Ayun,
Hindi
meron
naman
din po dito si
po.
Ma'am Princess Joy P. Flores from Barangay 17, Dupita, Piddig, Ilocos Norte. Hello, ma'am.
Wow.
Ayun, talagang
Layo.
napapakita that we are conquering the North or the Ilocos Norte.
Yes, sir. The whole Ilocos Norte.
Ayun.
Yes. Baka hindi pa
Ayun.
po sa Ilocos, we have also outside the Ilocos
Yes.
Norte.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir. Mm-mm.
Ayun.
Okay,
So, I
so
think ready na tayo, ma'am. Habol na lang yung mga ibang participants natin for today.
okay, so let us start, Sir Jubel. Allow me to introduce our first speaker. He is a graduate of MAED, major in technical vocational education, a PhD student, major in development education. He is also a faculty at Mariano Marcos State University, College of Teachers Education, a Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2. And of course, Sir Jubel, a Google for Education Certified Trainer. A dedicated person. Let us all welcome Sir Reggie Boy B. Fabro. Hello, sir.
Ayun. Ayan. On screen right now is Sir
I'm
Reggie Boy
Skin.
Pabro.
Oh, hindi patitinag si Sir Reggie Boy Fabro.
Ayan.
Hello,
Oh,
Teacher Jovel and Teacher Janet. Good
hi,
afternoon.
sir.
Hello, sir.
Ayan. Hindi natin
Hello to
papalampasan, sir.
our,
Batiin natin muna. Pa-shoutout naman sa ating mga participants, Sir Reggie.
of course, Teacher Jovel. So, in our comment box, I saw our very own Dean from the College of Teacher Education, Dr. Elisa Samson. And of course, we have also our Google mentors from the Philippines, Sir Gary and Sir J.D. Mercado. Hello, Sir Gary Garcia.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
we are also with us today, Teacher Janet and
Oh,
Teacher Jobel. Good afternoon. Yung bagamalan tayo amin.
Ayun. Sir, bigyan mo nga lang kami kung ano ang i-expect natin for today's session.
Of course, Teacher Jobel. So what our dear participants will be expecting from this session are the following. So we have here the overview of Google Workspace for Education. So we will tackle about Google Workspace for Education. And in line of this, we also have to tackle Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, the distance learning for educators, the 4Cs of 21st century learning, digital citizenship, and after this session, we will be having our open forum. Okay, so of course, our dear participants, you will be expecting us also from the next training sessions we will be conducting free trainings for all of you, teachers, educators, and students as well. So even our the community in general. So we will be giving this free. So this is it, teachers. So we
Yes.
have
Yes.
Ayan. Hindi na namin papatagalin Sir Reggie kasi alam kong marami kang pasabog for today's session. Ayan. So, iwan ka muna namin. Don't worry, hindi ka namin iiwan forever. Babalikan ka rin namin mamaya. Di ba, Ma'am
Yes, yes,
Janet?
yes, sir,
Ayan.
sir. Okay, so let us not wait much longer about your insight, sir. Okay, so there
Uh,
you have it, Sir Reggie Favreau.
Okay, so good afternoon once again, dear participants from Ilocos region. So here, our first topic is overview of Google Workspace for Education. So ano nga ba yung Google Workspace for Education na sinasabi natin? Alright, so Google Workspace for Education is commonly known as the G Suite for Education, right, Teacher Jobel? And
yes po.
this is a set of Google tools and services that are tailored for schools and homeschools. For Google Workspace for Education, we have here, it empowers your school with simple and flexible tools to better collaborate, manage classes, and support safer learning environments. So ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng collaborate, manage classes, and support safe learning environments, Teacher Judel? So sa Google Workspace for Education, we have different editions or yung tinatawag nating mga iba't ibang accounts. So some schools may be using Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals or Standards. So that is what I'm going to tackle. So before we go, so shout out kay Sir Mike Paul Rivera from Ilocos Norte College of Arts and Trades. So hello, sir. Okay, so teachers, dear participants, here is a comparison of the Google Workspace for Education accounts. Okay, so meron tayong Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, which is, this is for free for qualifying institutions. So who are qualified institutions? So that is one topic that we will be discussing later. And of course, we also have Google Workspace for Education Standard. So this is a level up with advanced security, analytics, and controls to safeguard against evolving digital threats. So Teacher Jubel, in the cyberspace, digital threats are now perennial. So
Yes,
the
sobra.
Google Workspace for Education Standard, actually, this is good for students and teachers as well. So yan, we have $3 per student in a year. So get one free staff license for every 4 student licenses. Of course, we also have teaching and learning upgrade. So what is this one? So for this edition, it enhances instructional impact with advanced video communication, enrich class experiences, and tools to drive academic integrity. So this is for $4 per license. So kunwari, if a teacher is siya yung maraming mga events, no? So si school pwede siyang bumili ng license for this teaching and learning upgrade for this teacher only or for students as well. So we also have another, which is, I believe, this edition encompasses all the types of accounts. So we have here the Google Workspace for Education Plus. So this one is, it is used to transform your school with a comprehensive solution incorporating advanced security and analytics, enhanced teaching and learning tools, and more. So this is good for $5 per student per year. So
Ang
teacher,
ganda ng investment na yan, sir. Nakikita ko is sobrang cheap na invest. Kung mga investment na natin yan kung magsusubscribe tayo. Kasi it will ensure talaga that we can use it and maximize it. Di ba, Sir Reggie?
yes, you are right, Teacher Jobel. So moving on, let's get to know the different benefits and features we can get from these different editions. So let's start with the Google Workspace for Fundamentals. Of course, this one, so we have here the different features or benefits we can get from the free account or edition that we can get from Google Workspace for Education. For the standard edition one, Ito po, Teacher Jubel. So, education standard includes all the features of education fundamentals as well as advanced security, just like what I have mentioned a while back, and analytics tool that help you proactively protect data and privacy and safeguard your school community against evolving security risks. And of course, for standard edition, I teaching and learning upgrade. Here, for the meetings, you can initiate or you can have 250 participants and live streams with your Google Meet. You can do live streams. O ba, Teacher Jubel? So maganda yung ating edition na to, no? So for the premium engagement features in Google Meet, including interactive Q&A, so meron din siyang polls, breakout rooms, and more. So for this account or edition, meron siyang breakout rooms, just like other platforms that we are using, no? For Classroom add-ons to directly integrate your favorite tools and content. So meaning in the Google Classroom, you can now include here different add-ons. Just like if you are using Teacher Jubel, yung Kahoot, yung mga
Yes.
Excel. So you are no longer going to outside of the Google Workspace for Education. No? Hindi kasi ang ginagawa ng mga teachers, pumupunta sa mga nagsa-sign in, sign up muna sa mga ibang platform, and then binibigay sa ating mga students. So here in this edition, you are no longer going outside the Google Classroom. This can be integrated now, and that is Classroom add-ons. And of course, we have unlimited originality reports and the ability to check for peer matches across a private repository of past students' work. So meron din siyang self-checker plagiarism feature for this edition for Google Workspace teaching and learning upgrade. So of course, Teacher Jubel, not to forget, last but not the least, we have here the Google for Education Workspace Plus. Okay, so ito yung tinatawag nating lahat na ng mga features for fundamentals, for standard edition, and teaching and learning upgrade ay meron siya lahat-lahat kay Google Workspace for Education Plus. Okay, so for comparing the different accounts, Teacher Jubel, so in terms of collaborate, so here, as you can see, dear participants, meron tayong mga, of course, our docs, sheets, slides, forms, are all enabled sa lahat ng mga ating Google accounts. Ayan. Okay, so as you can see here, for collaborate, third-party application add-ons, so for the education fundamentals, education standard, wala sila. Okay? So Teacher Jubel, if you don't mind, kasi merong mga teachers na baka hindi nila alam kung ano yung ginagamit nilang account. Okay?
Yes, opo.
Siguro
Yun sana yung tatanungin ko advance ni sir, ha?
It would be better to ask your IT admin console. Kasi, syempre, sabi ko nga kanina, so yung Google Workspace Education Fundamental, this is for free for qualifying institution. So, pwedeng itanong ng ating mga teachers, educators sa kanilang IT admin console kung ano yung kanilang ginagamit na account. Ayan. So, we also have here roster sync. Okay, ito yung tinatawag natin na for Education Plus, teachers are no longer creating the class, no? Ibig sabihin nun, hindi na sila yung magagawa ng kanilang klase. Okay, so ibibigay na lang ni teacher sa educator kay IT admin console yung kaniyang mga roster class at sila na yung bahala para at least andun na yung mga estudyante nila, andun na sa kanilang klase. So however, the teacher can still customize the Google Classroom, etc. and so on. Okay, so we also have here
bigyan lang natin sir ng overview kung sino ba itong tinatawag nating admin console para alam nila kung who are these admin consoles, para alam nila kung sino yung rightful person na tatanungin nila.
Yes, you are right, Teacher Jubel. So si IT Admin Console, siya talaga yung nagmamanage sa ating domain, sa ating mismong Google Workspace for Education. Sila yung mga nagtumitingin, nagmo-monitor, sila yung nagmamanage ng ating ginagamit na Google Workspace. Okay, so in my school, I believe we have the ICT director, personnel, so they are in charge in monitoring our Google Workspace fundamental. And for teachers, of course, in the Department of Education, ayan kasi nationwide yan eh, so they also have their IT admin console. So sila yung nagmamanage talaga sa ating mga accounts. Sila yung mga gumagawa, nagbibigay sa atin ng mga institutional emails, yung sinasabi natin, yung email na kunwari, in my school, we have at
Yeah.
mmsu.edu.ph. So, ayan. So, sila yung gumagawa, sila yung nagcre-create, tapos binibigay sa amin na teachers.
I think sa mga DepEd school rin natin, sir, gumagamit rin sila ng at deped.gov.ph. Correct me if
Yes.
I'm wrong kung yun yata yung ginagamit.
Yes, you are right, Teacher Jobel. Oo. Okay, so this is for education, Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals. Okay, so again, for the remaining, for connect purposes and features, Gmail, Calendar, Meet. So, minsan ng mga teachers natin, bakit limited lang yung mga participants pag nag-Google Meet sila kasi sabi nila hindi kaya ng ganito, hindi kaya ng 150 and above because of the Google Workspace edition that you are using. So ito for Education Fundamentals 1, we have here 100 participants. It can be accommodated for Education Standard, they also have 100 participants. For the Teaching and Learning Upgrade, it can also accommodate 250 participants. And as well as for the Education Plus, Teacher Jubel. Okay? So, here are also the recording purposes. So when we are using the drive, our storage, no, our online storage. So basically what we are discussing here is an application of cloud computing. Okay, so Teacher Jubel, so as you can see dito sa ating presentation for the different editions, dito nakasummarize yung kanilang mga benefits at saka yung mga kanilang mga comparison about the use of the different editions. Ayan. Okay, so for the cloud search, it's only for Education Plus. Okay, so ayan, ito yung sinasabi ko na for the online storage, we have here 1 terabyte for Education Fundamentals, Education Standard, and then, of course, for the Teaching and Learning Upgrade, 100 terabyte plus 100 gigabyte per license, and for the Education Plus, 100 terabyte and shared plus 20 gigabyte per license. Okay? Alright, so for the admin controls, of course, ito yung kanilang mga comparisons. Ayan. Alright, so Teacher Jobel, we are now moving to the Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals. Okay, so yun lang naman yung ating overview for Google Workspace for Education, yung the different 4 accounts or 4 editions that can be used by our school.
Yes, so mga teachers natin ngayon, I hope na medyo meron na kayong clear view about how we can differentiate this Google Workspace for Education. But don't worry, the Google Workspace for Education is an inclusive cloud-based account. Kasi pwede rin palang free, meron ka rin pa ng mga nakukuhang mga free access na mga Google tools, mga free access. But of course, if you want to upgrade it, you will pay for a price depending kung ano yung pipiliin mo. But what I'm trying to say that the Google Workspace for Education is an inclusive cloud-based tool po natin. 'Di ba, sir?
Yes, Teacher Jubel. So there are still schools in the Ilocos. So that's why we are trying to conquer these schools na hindi pa sila Google Workspace for Education. Wala pa silang ganito. So we can help them, we can assist them on how to have this account, Google Workspace for Education.
Ayan ang hinihintay ko, sir, na sasabihin ni Sir Reggie. Kaya fellow Ilocano community, kaya nga po we call this one as Iloco Tech Support Group. If you want to upgrade your Google Workspace for Education accounts, you can actually communicate to us here at Iloco Tech Support Group so that we can help you for this one. Free. Oh, yan. Free ulit. Yan yung favorite word ko ngayon. Free. Yan.
Alright. So, yes, you are right, Teacher Jobel. Okay, so for Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, so this is now a free, sabi, paulit-ulit natin, sasabihin ka sa ating mga teachers, educators, this is for free for qualifying institutions. So, pag sinabi natin qualifying institutions, Teacher Jubel, of course, this school should present at CHED or TESDA or DepEd accredited sila. Okay? And that they have to fill out a Google form sa ating Google para at least sila ay mabigyan ng Google Workspace for
Okay.
Education Fundamental.
I-amplify ko lang, sir. So, therefore, kapag gustong mag-apply ng Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals ang isang school, ang requirement niya dapat CHED, TESDA, or DepEd accredited na school. Tama po ba ako, sir?
Yes,
Ayun.
of course.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And of
Go on.
course, another criterion is that this school should have a domain name. O ano yung tinatawag nating domain name. So, ito yung like www.facebook.com, www.youtube.com. Ito yung mga domain name. So, kung meron silang domain name sa kanilang school, they can also give that to the Google so that if they are edu.ph, the better. Pero pag hindi .edu.ph, then they can use, the Google can give them a domain name like school ph.education.
Okay.
Yun yung magiging account nila sa kanilang mga teachers and to their students as well. Okay, so for Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, so again, this is free teachers. So of course, meron din pala yung mga account, yung personal account na ginagamit. Okay? So, meron yung mga personal account, pero, konti lang yung mga features or benefits na makukuha nila doon sa personal. So, if they are not yet subscribed or have that Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, they can explore or they can use many features for this account. Okay? So, here are the features for the Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, enhance education with free and easy to use tools for learning. So here we have, if teachers, educators are looking for collaboration tools, so we have here different tools that we can use from Google Workspace Education Fundamentals. We have docs, slides, sheets, drive, forms, Jamboard. So these tools, so sabi nga natin kanina, Teacher Jubel, we will be conducting free trainings with these tools. So if you still do not know about these collaboration tools like the use of docs, slides, sheets, of course, we will be giving you free training. So we are not setting here now a boundary or a barrier. So we are opening this to the Ilocos community in general, Teacher Jubel, so that we can accommodate and entertain teachers, because at these times, it is only giving, or giving is caring. Sabi nga natin, di ba, teacher?
Kaya nga po tinawag natin ITA Group ang ating grupo, di ba?
So tama siya. Okay, so if you are looking also for productivity tools, just like when you conduct some synchronous and asynchronous classes, learning, we have here the classrooms, assignment tools. And for communication purposes, we have here Gmail, Meet, chat tools. And for organizing your tasks, so I usually do this or use these tools, Teacher Jubel, yung calendar. No, this is very useful to me, Teacher Jubel, yung calendar, because it helps me to take to record and put my schedules online, or imagine that, and it will be synced to my cell phone.
Yeah.
Yes, nasisync ko siya sa cellphone. And then, of course, provide trusted security. So we will be also helping those who would like to have this Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals to have their own account. So we will be assisting them also. Okay?
Yes.
So for foster collaboration for more impactful instruction. So ayun nga, magbibigay tayo ng mga free seminars, trainings. So as a Google certified trainer myself, so this is one of my roles to conduct and give trainings to our educators, teachers, or students. empower educators and amplify productivity. So yun nga, yung sabi ko kanina, we can help educators in the use of Google Classroom. We can help them to or assist them if still to elevate them into their pedagogy in terms of ICT integration, etc. Okay, so create a secure foundation for digital learning and meet rigorous compliance and accessibility standards. Of course, our Google is complying also for privacy and rights, no? So if you to tell you, Teacher Jubel, yung mga privacy na yan, mga rights na yan, they
Opo.
are here, meron tayong mga FAIRPA,
Opo.
COPA, and
Oo.
GDPR.
Ito, actually, sir, ito yung parang US counterpart ng Data Privacy Act natin dito sa Philippines. Ayan. Kaya huwag kayong mabibigla sa mga acronym na yan po. In the Philippines, ito po yung sinasabi nating Data Privacy Act of 2012. Yes, di ba, sir?
Yes. Yeah, right, Teacher Jubel. So for the FERA, that is for policy for family. It's a privacy law that gives parents certain protections with regard to their children's education records. Pag sa COPA naman, that is Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And for the GDPR, that is for General Data Protection Regulation. Okay? So
Yes.
I am very excited, Teacher Jubel, for this series of webinars that we will be conducting for our Ilocos educators, teachers, and students, di ba? So transitioning to the new normal of education is really difficult. So we have to share and give what we have. Diba, sir, teacher?
Yes po.
And
Ayan.
allow me to quote this one as quoted by the CEO of Google himself. Technology alone will not improve education, but it can be a powerful part of the solution. So teachers are catalysts of change. So we know that change is inevitable. Okay, so we teachers are part of this solution. So we have to act, we have to give, we have to share, we have to attend,
Yeah.
inspire, transform, and
And
educate.
educate.
Okay? Yes.
Ayun. Ayan. Alam mo talaga kung ano, sobrang standing ovation na sana ako pag hindi virtual yung ating setup for today. Di ba? Ayan, meron na si Ma'am Janet.
And
Hello,
of course,
sir.
Teacher Jovel and Teacher Janet, I'm very happy that Sir Franco Ador is with us today. He's
Ayun!
representing Japan. He's the
Nakaka-flatter
one who
naman.
inspired us. Okay, so
Ah.
shout out kay Sir Franco.
Para po sa mga
Ador.
hindi nakakaalam, si Sir Franco Nicolo Adon po, ang founder po ng Kaagapay Teacher Support Group. Opo,
Yes.
siya po yung nag-inspire sa amin in order for us to create this one.
True, Sir
Ayun.
Jobel.
Oo,
True.
pero
So,
babalik tayo, Ma'am Janet, sa presentation ni Sir kanina. 'Di ba? Ang rami pa lang mga pwede nating gamitin na mga tools. Ngayon, Ma'am, ano yung parang
yes.
naging additional insights mo nang narinig mo tong Google Workspace for Education?
For me, sir, sa totoo lang, we'd love to hear from you, both of you, kayong dalawa, sir, about yung Google Workspace for Education and, of course, the Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals and its benefits. And, of course, the different tools that we will be able to use to have a better interaction and collaboration with one another. At nandyan na po ang ITA Group natin, di po ba, natutulong sa
Yes,
mga kapwa
tama.
natin Ilocano to have a better communication with one another. Nakakawaw talaga, Sir Jubel, no?
Oh, you know what,
Mm.
Ma'am? Noon, before I know this Google Workspace for Education, ang alam lang natin kasi pag sinabi natin Google is that search box lang siya. Na kapag meron tayong tatanungin, ang palagi nating sinasabi, ask Google. 'Di ba? Pero hindi
Yes.
natin alam na ang rami-rami parang mga tools na pwede nating gamitin aside from asking Google. Kaya pwede natin sabihin yung hashtag na Google lang malakas. Yun, Janet.
Yes.
Teacher
Oh,
Jovel. I agree with
Sana
you,
all
teacher.
talaga.
Diba?
Google talaga. Mm-mm.
Pero tanungin lang natin si Sir Reggie kasi si Sir Reggie talaga very hands-on siya sa Google eh. Sir Reggie, sa mga Google tools na binanggit mo kanina, saan sa kanila yung pinaka-favorite mo? Although, sabihin lang natin na lahat talaga favorite mo siguro, di ba? Pero hindi natin maiwasan na meron yung mga ibang pet natin na talagang ito yung nag-stand out or
True.
nag-shine sa kanilang mga Google tools. Para sa'yo, Sir Reggie, ano yung parang pinakagamit na gamit?
Sa akin, Teacher Jubel, I would love the Gmail. Kahit mawala man lahat yung mga applications, sana hindi, or yung tools. No,
Huwag sana. Huwag
because
sana.
Gmail for me is something like a form of communication, and that we need communication to anyone, no, regardless of what relationships you are, or in terms of relationship, is very important communication. So the Gmail tool, we can use that application or tool to communicate with our students. Of course, doon sa ating mga bago editions, you can chat them there. You can also see them if they are online, active. So nag-iba na yung Gmail natin. Unlike before na kung na wala pa yung mga ganong mga features, you can also teach there now in the Gmail. Yan.
Ayan. Maraming
Yes.
salamat,
Oo.
sir.
Sir Jubel, o tinanong mo kay Sir Reggie, ako namang magtatanong sa'yo. Ano namang Google tool ang pinaka-favorite mo?
Okay, para merong
Oh,
element of surprise,
yes.
i-reserve ko yung answer ko dyan later on. Kasi gusto ko nang pumunta sa ating next speaker para maka-research pa ako no ng isasagot kasi ang hirap ng mga ang hirap ng pantayan yung answer ni Sir Reggie kanina.
Wow.
Okay, so for now, Sir Reggie, we would like to say thank you. At
Yes,
mag-meet tayo
sir.
ulit mamaya sa ating open
Open
forums.
forum.
Thank you,
Ayan
Teacher
po.
Jubel,
Yes,
Teacher Janet.
Ayan.
sir.
Ayun.
You.
So,
Okay, Sir Jubel. Wow,
yes.
sabi mo talagang sino-surprise na kami Yes
Yes po.
may
Opo.
pa-surprise ka pa hindi lang si Santa Claus yung nagso-surprise ngayon
But you know what, ma'am?
Okay.
I will answer another. What I want to answer now is when I learned about this Google Workspace for Education. One thing that I learned that it is still very powerful tool or powerful set of tools for our education academy na kung saan lalo na ngayon na nai-amplify and nai-highlight lalo na ngayon na pandemic where nagkakaroon
Yes.
ng separation between teacher and students na kung
Yes,
saan we
sir.
were not able to meet, collaborate and communicate
Yeah.
synchronously. Kaya minsan we have these questions na the quality of education pa ba na i-deliver natin is the same pa rin sa face-to-face? So yun yung mga issues na parang na nagiging questions natin ngayon, this distance learning.
True.
Kaya what I can say is that this Google Workspace for Education is a good platform or medium to communicate, to collaborate to our students in this distance learning.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why, sir, after knowing this different Google tools, how can we utilize them for distance learning? Di po ba, Sir Jubel? Because
Yes.
as we all know, sir, that distance learning, kagaya nga ng sinabi mo kanina, Sir Jubel, na it is a physical separation of the teachers and the students during the
Yes.
instruction and the various technologies to facilitate yung student-teacher and student communication. It's very hard talaga, di po ba, sir? And yes, so eto na, sir. Let us welcome yung second speaker natin. To
Before that,
elaborate,
ma'am. Ayan.
Yes,
Before
sir.
that one, ma'am, is mag-shoutout muna tayo.
Yes.
Mm-mm. So, yan. Baka mamaya meron tayong nakagalitaan. I think ito, si Sir Mike Honey Paul Rivera from Incat. Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. And we have also Ma'am Christy Ann Minarahon. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Si Sir Aris Lasiste Baluran. Good afternoon.
Ayan,
And
papa-shoutout daw niya kay Hi, Sir Reggie, sabi niya.
hello, Sir Reg daw, sabi ni Sir. We have also, madami palang mga students dito, sir. Hindi lang mga educators.
Yan. Ang ganda.
Ang daming mga estudyante. We have Crisaline Bautista, We have Myrel Martin from MMSU CIT. Yes. Then we have also, sir, shout out. Hi, Sir Jubel
Ay,
from Ma'am Jessica Acosta.
ayun, hello sister.
Wow. We have, sir, also, Judah Praise Arbano. Hi, Sir Jubel. Ang
Ayun,
daming fans si Sir Jubel.
nakakaloka yung mga fans na
Oo.
yan.
Yes,
Oo.
parang si Google din.
Yes
Mm-mm.
po, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Opo. Sa mga
Yes.
yan. Speaking of Google tools, ayan, pwede ko nang sagutin siguro ngayon at nag-research na ako ng sasagot ko sa tanong mo kanina, Ma'am Janet. Yan. Alam mo, Ma'am Janet, is that hindi naman ako greedy, but I can say that I love all the tools. Yan. Kasi ang kagandahan kasi ng Google Workspace for Education is that we can personalize yung paggamit nito. Halimbawa, pag gumagamit tayo ng mga Google Sheets, mga Google Forms,
Yes. Mm-mm.
alam mo yung halimbawa gusto mo na parang kailangan kong mag-generate ng mga e-certificates gamit ang mga data ko sa Google Sheets. Ayun, pwede tayong mag-add ng mga extensions gaya ng AutoCrat na kung saan you can use it for the add-ons. So, yung Google, hindi siya fix. Hindi po siya fix. Marami pong pwede pong ilagay na mga third-party tools or yung mga tinatawag nating extensions na pwede nating gamitin so that we can personalize our Google tools. Yan.
Yes, sir. Tama ka, Sir Jubel. Yan, ang dami talagang mga features yung Google natin, yung mga different tools natin, ang dami nilang features, nagsisilabasang features. For example, dun sa Google Meet natin, nagkakaroon na tayo nung sinasabi nating Jamboard, di po ba, Sir Jubel? For us to interact, there's a collaboration there. We have also yung sa email natin, yung sinabi kanina ni Sir Fab, Reggie Fab na merong nakalagay na doon sa task. We have also, di po ba, Sir Jubel, may calendar na sa email natin. Okay, so may task na. So, there you have it. Ang ganda talaga ng Google, mga Google tools natin. Okay, so salamat Google.
Yes po, salamat Google. So to give us how we can utilize these Google tools or how we use technology and the distance learning, we will now proceed to our next speaker. So introduce na natin, Ma'am Janet.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Jubel. Our second speaker is an assistant professor 3 at MMSU College of Teachers Education, a student in PhD in Science Education at St. Louis University, Baguio City, a chair of MMSU CTE PhilChed Connect, Open Educational Resources, and a member of MMSU Community Empowerment through Science and Technology team in collaboration with DOST, a teacher and a focal person for technology for teaching and learning 1 and 2. Person, Sir Julius Kumara.
Ayun.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Ayan, hello, Sir Julius.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Sir
Yes, sir.
Julius.
Yeah, thank you. So before I proceed, I would like to greet our participants. How many participants do we have, by the way, sir?
We cannot count more than 10. No?
Exactly. Hi, guys. Hello po sa mga 10 na participants natin.
Plus another 0. More than
Ayan,
100.
More than 100.
Hi,
Ayan,
Katawan.
so Sir Julius, hindi na namin papatagalin. Gaya ng namin, hindi kami aalis forever, babalik rin kami mamaya po. So we will give now the floor to you, Sir Julius, to discuss about distance learning for educators.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So good afternoon once again to all our participants in this webinar. So what I have in this first slide is a picture of a building. Can you see it? All right. So by simply looking at this picture, actually I took this from the internet, and this is one of the featured schools in Manila, here in the Philippines. So technically, when we are thinking of a building, when we are looking into a building, we are being fascinated with the giant staircases in front of it. However, eventually, someone will come and use that building, probably those individuals that are on wheelchairs, or probably individuals who are using a walker. So, with that instance, with the use of this proverbial staircase in a certain building or school, that is already unfit for individuals who have these conditions. So technically, someone will come and retrofit the building in order to address the needs of individuals who are who would like to use the building. So later on, um, someone will come and fix it. Probably they will put a ramp in the building in order to accommodate users of the building, in order to accommodate general public, whatever their situation is, whether they are using a walker, whether they are using a wheelchair, they will get access into the building in whatever floor or level of the building they would like to, because the design of the building has been retrofitted in such a way that will allow access for all individuals. With that on mind, next time that they will be making a building, they will include a ramp already, which means that this will become a universal design. So what is the application this in education? In education, instead of designing um, a lesson and allowing students to participate one way, we must also retrofit the idea and start designing lessons with multiple users ahead of time. What you see now on the slide is, on the left side, you see pictures that allow access to individuals to come to school. This is the face-to-face scenario of teaching. But with the advent of COVID-19, the use of or face-to-face classes were canceled. In such case, we retrofitted the way we teach our students, and that is via distance learning. So what is distance learning? Distance learning refers to any courses or instruction, or refers to any courses and instruction where it is being delivered remotely, as learners and educators are not able to come in person sessions. Distance learning has existed for many years already. And since the access to internet become more prevalent, the use of distance learning has become an option of the many, especially now in this time of pandemic. Technology is playing an important role in allowing learning to take place anywhere, anytime, and give access to experts wherever you are located. When can distance learning be appropriate? This is one good question. There are a number of different scenarios that makes distance learning necessary. First, from remote communities who lack easy access to expert. So, do you remember during our time when we were in college and we have a report to make, or we have an action research to make? What do? We run to internet cafes and look for resources that will provide us an intensive reading about a certain topic. Or maybe we can email our friends, or maybe we can communicate with experts via the internet. Another thing is learning for disparate groups. Another one, groups that have other responsibilities, both personal and professional, that is preventing them from joining in-person learning opportunities. There are many catalysts that lead to a distance learning model being required. The world was forced to look at this structure for learning when we are faced with the global pandemic. However, this approach to learning has been taking place, as I said a while ago, for decades in different forms. What I'm trying to say is whatever catalyst, there are tools and pedagogical approaches that can make distance learning effective and successful. As mentioned earlier, one of which is with the use of Google Workspace, where varied tools, are available to sustain learning that is remote and develop an understanding of pedagogy and that can maximize learning impact of this approach. So what are the modalities or how do we deliver distance learning? Learning at this aspect can be synchronous or asynchronous. Synchronous instruction is where learners join the the instructor live to follow the instruction with the instructor and where tasks are completed while connected to the instructor. So in college, what we do is that we upload the material in our own LMS and we call it MMSU MVLE, Virtual Learning Environment. So we upload the material. That is to allow our students download the materials and read ahead of time. And we set schedule for synchronous classes. It is where in the synchronous classes that we discuss important concepts, principles of that, whatever it is that needs to be rolled out. And when there are queries from students that needs to be clarified, then this is a very fitting avenue for teachers and students to learn from the teacher. One tool that is present in Google Workspace is the use of Google Meet. So imagine kami before we open one application, nag-open kami ng separate na Google Meet, nag-open kami ng calendar, nag-open kami ng kung ano-ano pa. Ang dami namin ina-open. But here comes now one tool that it was tailored and to fit into one. With just one click, you are able already to access all of the features that you used to open 10 applications. Now you can only open one application and all of the tools are already put into. Okay? So that is synchronous learning. Meeting students synchronously, you give instruction, you get feedback immediately from your students. Another thing is asynchronous. For asynchronous instruction, this allows learners to work. Can we go back to the previous slide, please? Okay. Asynchronous instruction allows learners to work through instruction at different times and locations using central place to access the learning materials provided by the instructor. So, there was a point in our school wherein the system rested for some time, and we were told to use other alternatives. Luckily, we have this Google Workspace, and we have this Google Classroom as one of the features of Google Workspace. So what did I do? I opened a Google Classroom for my students, and then it is where I put all of the activities in there, all of the assignments, and I am being notified each time that a submission will be clicked in the Google Classroom, will be turned in, that is the right term, turned in the Google Classroom. So each time a student turns in a requirement or assignment, perhaps if that is the case, I am being notified. And I can see immediately if they are submitting it on time or late beyond the submission time. A combination of both modes, asynchronous and synchronous, is needed to support learners' need, as synchronous helps engage the learner and make them accountable, and asynchronous accounts for different situations and schedules of the learners to accommodate learning with other responsibilities. So may yung mga ibang estudyante namin, during asynchronous activities, sir, I wasn't able to submit my requirement kasi napanak naglaba, napanak nagubura, I am working. So, you see? But what's good thing about here is that they can work at their own pace. They can work at their own pace. Okay? It is also necessary to maintain the learner's connection. During face-to-face learning, connections between educators and learners are made that support learning process. Learners can build confidence and motivation from each other. During distance learning, it can be more challenging to develop these connections, but they are important for developing effective distance learning. One way to maintain connection is to have a permanent back channel. This is a digital space where learners can ask and answer, clarify questions about learning. So what do we do here as one of the tools in Google Space is that first, we have Google Groups, we also have Google Meet and Posts, and we also have the Google Classroom. So all of these platforms, all of these tools are all part of the Google Workspaces. So how do they connect to us, teachers? Pag na-late sila, these tools are readily available. And rest assured that you'll be able to respond to all of their queries because we are connected with this Google Spaces. It's also imperative to support all the learners. So one of the key challenges to distance learning is how best to provide equitable access to learning. Okay? So, lalo na on the onset of the pandemic, last year, nung bago pa lang siya, dami nating problema, ang dami nating problems that we need to address, right? Okay? So, having materials, especially so, before, kanya-kanya kami gamit ng tools, may gumagamit ng iba't ibang tools. But now that we have become more modern and now that we have become more technical and the use of Google Workspaces, we can already put the materials in one location, which makes learning as equitable as possible by providing same access to resources, feedbacks, supports, and the like. When delivering from a distance, this needs to be factored in. So what are some of the factors to consider? Can we go back to the previous slide, please? One is language. Another one is special educational needs, learning environment, and internet access. Language, in MMSU, we have exchange students from Indonesia and other places. Our partner schools outside the Philippines. So if the materials are properly uploaded in the Google Workspaces and we used a different language perhaps, okay, there is a feature in the Google Workspace that allows you to translate the content of the material. Language barrier will no longer be a problem. Special educational needs, of course, not because there are streamlined students joining our classes. That doesn't give them the equal opportunity to join such platform. There are tools now that were tailor-fitted, that were tailored for our learners with special needs. Learning environment is also one factor. And of course, internet access. Today, it has become an excuse. You know, it's an old cliche already to hear from students, "Sir, I want the internet, wala kaming internet access." You know? Buti na lang, si Google Workspaces, gumawa siya ng feature that even without you have internet, you can access that. All of the materials, all of the resources, all of the some tools can be accessed, even if you do not have strong connectivity to the internet. Okay? So while maintaining support to all learners, it's also imperative that scheduling of remote learning can be done. Okay? So how do we manage internet access? How do we manage that? Having a robust internet connection is desirable to facilitate distance learning, but it is not feasible to expect this for every learner all of the time. Therefore, it is important to consider the balance of the course so it is not reliant on the internet connection at all times. So can work be completed offline and then submitted to online platforms when convenient? Yes, that's correct. Offline editing is available through Google Workspace tools. Lastly, can we go back? All right. So one thing to consider also during distance learning is to communicate with the stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders? Okay. Stakeholders include parents, guardians of young learners, or other educators that provides access to internet, perhaps if that is the case, or learning hubs or communities. Okay, it's necessary that we communicate with them because this allows us to have a success implementation of a distance learning. We have to orient them of what will gonna take place when distance learning begin with the use of technology. What tool will they be using when they will start using Google Spaces? It's also imperative to post or to schedule regular check-ins via a calendar tool, which is one feature of the Google Workspaces, like the Google Calendar, to ensure that the regular time allocated for learning is met. And if you are communicating information about the course, you will need to find a convenient and consistent way to do this, and ideally to ensure that stakeholders always find it in one place. A certain tool has to be considered. It can be done, it can be used, we can use via email. But you see, emails often can get pushed from one side if they arrive at the wrong time. So therefore, course information, a permanent place to find can be helpful. So these places could include Google Sites, Google Classroom, and Google Groups. So these are the tools that you're expected to use as you will be delivering your lesson via distance learning. Before, we are so hard up in looking for tools, and we download a lot of tools. And sometimes the device of our students do not even have enough space to download other applications that we use in order to connect with them. However, if we will have to embrace change, if we will have to embrace new product, it will help us from a lot of stress in delivering distance learning. That's all for today. Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay,
Ayan.
ayan. Ayan na, sir. Ay, sir, hello. I love the word of Sir Julius about yung retrofit, the idea that can allow access to all of us. Kasi yung, when
Yun.
we're talking of, yes, sir, kasi when we're talking about in retrofitting, it is the process of adding new features. And that is why, sir, in the distance learning, we have the technology that will help us. At ayan na po si Google Workspace. And of course, a group kagaya po ng ITA Group natin that will give us helping hand. Di po ba, Sir Jovel? Ang
Tamang-tama po,
ganda.
ma'am.
Mm.
That one way
Yes,
to
yung
deliver this Google Workspace for education to all the Ilocano community, we need to have this ITED group. Di ba po?
yes,
You know
sir.
what?
Wow, sir.
Uh, what I when I heard about the whole discussion of sir about the distance learning, one thing that I learned about it, and that one thing is that Google Workspace for Education is best fitted for both synchronous and asynchronous learning.
Yes.
Na pwede palang gamitin na hindi lang for online ang Google Workspace, but also offline, na meron
Offline.
tayong offline mode. That's why I love the idea that we have this distance learning and we can ensure quality of education by integrating or retrofitting this technology.
True, that's it. Ayun, ayun. Oh,
Uh,
thank you so much, Sir Julius, for that
yeah,
very magandang insights and overview about that distance learning.
yeah. We will see
Thank
you
you
later
po.
on, sir, on our open forum. Bye for
Thank you.
now, Sir
Bye for
Julius.
now, sir. Okay.
Ayun.
Wow, ang ganda talaga, sir. Mm-mm.
Grabe na ano ako doon. Na alam mo yung ang ganda-ganda talaga ng ating webinar for today because we don't only discuss new terms or terms but also we discuss integrate the Google Workspace on these terms like distance
True.
learning.
Yes, sir. Yun
Oo.
nga. Kaya, eto na, sir. Okay, sir, let us talk about forces of the 21st
Yes.
century.
Yes,
Ano
ma'am.
tong forces na
Before
sinasabi
that, of
natin?
course, introduce muna natin ang sarili natin kasi nakalimutan natin i-introduce kanina yung ating
Ay,
ano.
wow.
Siyempre, wow naman, ang ganda nun.
Nakikita
So,
naman dyan sa screen, sir. Okay na yan.
ayun.
Yes, by the way, I'm
Oo.
Janet C. Rivera, a faculty at College of Industrial Technology, MMSU, Mariano Marquez State
Yes. And
University.
I am Juan Jobel S. Acosta, a faculty of Northwestern University. Ayun.
Yan na, sir. O, yan na
Okay.
tayo. Sa forces na tayo.
Forces na
Ano yung
tayo.
yes, ano yung forces na
Um,
sinasabi natin in
Yan.
the 21st
Umpisahan mo na,
century?
ma'am.
Okay, umpisahan ko na. I-umpisa ko in 2002 with the partnership of business community, the education leaders, and the policymakers. They come up, Sir Jobel, with this framework of 21st century learning with the context of core knowledge and instruction and must learn, of course, the four C's. At ang mga ito ay napaka-importante, sir, how these skills affect the teaching and learning, and how does technology play an important part on these skills. We have the collaboration, the communication, yung creativity, at ang critical thinking. So, Forces prepares students for increasingly complex life and work environment, lalong-lalo na ngayon, sir, sa panahon na ito, kahit din noong in the traditional way, di po ba, Sir Jubel,
Yeah.
of teaching that we give our best, we as a teacher, just to give the needed knowledge and skills of our learners for them to use as they will go by or to into the world of work. Di po ba, Sir Jubel?
Yes
Okay,
po.
so we have now the first foresee natin. We have the collaboration.
Ayan.
Okay, nagmo-move na yung slide natin. We have the collaboration. Okay, so In this collaboration, they will
Before that
work.
one, ma'am, we will just give them, I amplify ko lang yung
Mm-mm,
sinabi ni ma'am para mabigyan natin sila ng
yeah.
overview. Na bakit 4Cs? It focuses on the collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical
Yes.
thinking. And it's essential to prepare students for increasingly complex life and work environments in the 21st century. So therefore,
Yun.
itong 4Cs pala, hindi lang pala natin ito makikita inside the classrooms, but we can also apply it in our work environments.
Yes,
Yan.
we can
Kaya ma'am,
collaborate, sir.
yes,
Yes, we can
yes.
collaborate.
So yan, umpisa na
Okay.
natin. Go now ma'am about
Okay,
collaboration.
go. So, in collaboration, yung sinabi nating collaboration, they will work one another kasi sir to complete a specific goals. Ito yung sharing and thinking ideas that can help to make a good output. Dito natin makikita yung pagtutulungan ng bawat isa na walang isang naiiwan. Di po ba, Sir Jubel?
Yes.
And what does this mean for our students? So to build good collaboration skills, students must learn how to work effectively and different groups of people. Kasi kumbaga diverse culture kasi tayo dito sa kahit dito tayo sa Ilocos, diverse culture tayo. Iba-iba yung kultura natin, Sir Jobel. And of course, be flexible and willing to compromise with team member to reach of course a common goal and demonstrate responsibility as a team member working toward a shared goal. Di po ba, sir?
Yes.
So, yun. In this collaboration skills, sir, ano naman yung mga tools na pwede nating gamitin? Yung mga Google
Ayan.
tools na pwede nating
Opo,
gamitin?
tamang-tama po. Kahit na po hindi pandemic, hindi distance learning, even meron na tayong face-to-face, I can recommend you these tools to use in order to increase the collaboration of the students. Pwede natin gamitin ang Google Docs, pwede rin yung Google Sheets or Google Drive. Or ito yung pinaka-popular na Google Workspace na tool natin, which is the Google Classroom. And then the Google Jamboard. So ito, kahit na magkakaiba sila ng places, they can interact here, they can synchronously interact or collaborate in just one work area. So ito yung mga tools na pwede natin gamitin, ma'am.
Wow, ang ganda, sir. Ang dami to collaborate with one another. Ang dami talagang tools na pwedeng gamitin. Okay, so there you have it. We have also the communication, sir. Isa sa mga forces natin. In communication, it is the expressing of thoughts clearly. Ito yung articulating opinions, communicating current instructions. And ito po yung isa na pinakamahirap na skill. Why? Because dapat po na you are confident, communicate, not also to communicate but also to listen and share information. So this includes in a verbal way, a written or an multimedia messages. Di po ba, Sir Jobel?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
So, ano
ito,
naman
mga
yung
tools.
oo, sa mga tools
Yes
natin dito sa
po, opo. Kung
communication.
kanina na we have tools that we can use for collaboration, we have also tools from the Google Workspace fundamentals that we can use to communicate or to maximize the communication skills of the 21st century. Ito yung pinaka-common na ginagamit natin ngayon, which is the Google Meet, yan, or the Gmail na sinabi ni Sir Reggie kanina. Yung Google Groups na nami-mention kanina ni Sir Julius na narinig natin. And then we have also this, hindi naman siya yung pinaka commonly used, but it can give us a platform for a communication, which is the Google Chat. Kaya nga lang sabi ko kanina po, if you want or if you are interested to know more about these tools, you can tap the ITED or the Ilocotech support group to give you
Yes.
free webinars.
Yes, sir. That is true. So, yung communication natin, either it is asynchronous or asynchronous, di po ba, Sir Jobel?
Yes, yes.
Using these different Google tools. Okay,
Yes.
so what does this mean for our students? So, communicate using digital media and environment to
Gaya
support
kanina, yan.
personal and group group learning. Yes, sir. And of course, share information efficiently and effectively. Dapat lang po. Kasi dapat good communication talaga with one another. Especially yung mga ka-group mo or yung mga peers mo or not also students, teachers, students, di po ba Sir Jubel? And
Yes.
communicate thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively to different audiences using various media and formats. Gaya po yung ginagawa natin ngayon. Okay, we have the webinar. So, we are communicating with our yung mga participants natin and of course to our Ilocano mates, di po ba Sir Jovel?
Yes. So,
Yes.
ayan. So, for our third tool na, ano naman ma'am, third skill natin, which is the creativity. Can you give us an overview naman about this creativity?
Okay, itong creativity na sinasabi natin, when we're talking about creativity, yung you will create, di ba po? You will create an idea or produce a new, a diverse, a unique ideas. Thinking creatively means yung sabi natin, looking things from a different perspective. So there you have it, a brainstorming, refining ideas, and being responsive to ideas from others and making ideas tangible and useful to others. And that is what you call
Ayan.
creativity. At ano
Ah,
naman po yung mga tools na pwede nating gamitin in
O
this
yan, hindi pa po
skills?
nawawala. Akala niyo po
Yes.
naubusan na ako ng mga tools. Marami akong tools na pwedeng gamitin. Nandyan po yung Google Drawings, na like what you see on the symbol. Yung Google Slides, na parang ang counterpart niya sa Microsoft is the PowerPoint. At ang kagandahan pa is you can actually create your own site using the Google Sites to
Yes.
manifest your creativity, to increase your creativity. At lalong-lalo na hindi natin makakalimutan yung mga gustong maging isang vlogger or gustong mag-vlog, we have the YouTube as a platform to increase the creativity of our students.
Yes. Ang dami-dami talaga, sir. Hindi ka
Yes.
mawawalan ng mga tools. Dito
Opo.
sa mga
Ayan. Opo.
courses. Yes.
Now, ma'am,
Okay.
let's go naman, ma'am, dito sa fourth one. Yung last skill natin, which is critical thinking skills. Ano naman
Okay.
ito, ma'am?
Okay, yung critical thinking naman, sir, 'di ba? Pag sinasabi natin critical thinking, dapat alam mo to, di po ba? Dapat in critical thinking involves logical thinking and reasoning, yung including skills such as yung comparing for example, the past to present, ganon, or comparing things, classification, sequencing, what is the cause and effect, patterning, webbing, and others. Okay, so in critical thinking is the analysis of an issue or situation and the facts or a data or evidence related to it. So ideally, critical thinking is to be done objectively, Sir Jobel. So meaning without influence from yung personal feelings mo, yung own opinions mo or yung biases, and it focuses solely on factual information. Yes.
Ayan. So, yan.
Okay.
O yan, sabi ko nga, if you want something, Google, name it, then Google will give you. That's why I
Yes.
have here the tools na pwede ninyong gamitin for your critical thinking. Not delimited here lang kasi yung mga ibang mga tools na nabanggit ko kanina, we can also integrate it here on the critical thinking
Yes.
or vice versa, di ba ma'am? So,
Yes.
what I present here are just some of the tools na pwedeng gamitin natin to maximize critical thinking skills. Una dyan si Google Sheets. Kung meron kang large data sets, the Google Sheets will help you to analyze the data. Diba? Lalo-lalo na sa mga nagre-research dyan, hindi nawawala na ang research ngayon. Diba, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Which can increase our critical thinking. And with this aid, the Google Sheet, it will help us to think critically. Meron din si Google Forms. So the Google Forms, if you want to look at the results, you want to analyze it, you want to interpret it, then you can do that one using the Google Forms. Di rin
Mm.
nawawala yung third logo dyan, yung Google Scholar. So yung Google Scholar, it is a list or group of scholarly articles that is published internationally or nationally na pwede nating gamitin when we are doing related studies or related literatures. And the last one na medyo I believe na hindi pa tayo gaanong familiar, meron rin tayong tinatawag po na Google Books. Now we can use this one for us to increase our critical thinking. So ito po yung mga four na pwede natin pong gamitin, Ma'am Janet.
Mm. So, nandyan na po ang dami-daming Google tools ang dapat
Yes.
ang magagamit natin with this 4C's skill, di po ba, Sir Jubel?
Yes, I agree with Ma'am
Okay.
Janet. So,
Yes.
ito, tatandaan po natin that these forces are actually the new the skills that we need to attain in the 21st century, and with the
Mhm.
help of the technology we can actually maximize or increase the skills to our
This,
students
yes.
or to our community for their work environments, 'di ba, ma'am?
Yes,
Pero
sir, that
ma'am,
is true.
oh yes. Ma'am, pero tatanungin kita ma'am, na ngayon na nagiging vital role na ang technology sa atin, nandyan ng social media platforms, nandyan ng paggamit ng mga online tools or Web 2.0 tools, ano yung mga napapansin mong problem na na-encounter natin when we are using it?
Okay, Sir Jubel. So, with that, ang dami-daming tools na ginagamit natin ngayon, we need also to use them kung saan sila nararapat, di po ba, Sir Jubel?
Tama.
So, especially in this 21st century, technology has become, yung sinabi mo kanina, na a vital part of our living. Di po ba, Sir Jubel?
Yes.
Pero
Opo.
nakikita ko, Sir Jubel, hindi ko naman nilalahat, hindi ko naman
Mm-mm.
sinasabi na ano, pero nakikita ko talaga some use it properly, others do not. Yes, Sir
Yes.
Jubel. Yun
Tama
nga,
po.
kaya sabi nga ni um yung dating Miss Universe
Ah,
natin na si Miss Pia
Pia works
Wurzbach. Oo,
back. Oo,
na
sabi
ano
nga na,
sabi niya, Sir Jubel?
yeah, think before we click, sabi niya.
Yes. Mahirap
Kuha-kuha
kasi
niyo
yung
ba?
padalos-dalos, Sir Jubel, di po ba?
Yes.
Dapat
Yeah,
alamin mo muna kung saan siya nararapat.
that's right. That's the reason why na when we are using social media, or when we are using these platforms na we think before we click, tatandaan po natin that we are leaving a digital footprints. So lahat po ng mga gumagamit ng technology, sa lahat po ng gumagamit ng mga social media is meron tayo palang naiiwan na digital footprints. Akala natin ang naiiwan lang is yung mga finger footprints natin or yung mga footprints natin.
Mm-mm.
Ngayon, meron din palang tinatawag na digital footprints. Baka mamaya, meron tayong pinost sa social media or meron tayong ginamit na tools na pinakita natin yung parang other side natin. Few years from now, nandun pa rin yung mga tools, yung mga
Yes.
ginamit natin
Mm-mm.
na pwedeng gamitin to attack against us. Kaya, very important today about digital citizenship, di ba po, ma'am?
Yes, sir, that is true. And to give us information about digital citizenship so that we will understand what we should and shouldn't do online and act safe and respectful manner, Sir Jubel. May we call
Yes.
on? May we call on our
Yeah,
last
of course,
but not
introduce
the
muna
least?
natin, ma'am. Introduce
Yes.
muna natin, ma'am, ang
Yes,
ating
last
speaker.
but not the least is
Yeah.
speakers for today's
Opo.
event.
So,
Okay.
allow me to introduce our the last speaker for this webinar, but not the last speaker of whole webinar series natin. We have here today to discuss about digital citizenship, Sir Melchor S. Castro. He is actually Assistant Professor 3 at TVL Education Department of MMSU CTE. He is a graduate of BS in Computer Science and pursue Master in Information Technology. He is also a Google Certified Educator Level 1, a UNESCO ICT trainer, and an Open Educational Resources lecturer. So let's welcome our speaker, Sir Melchor S. Castro. Wow! Ang ganda-ganda naman ng
Hello.
ano.
Hello,
Yan.
sir.
Good
Good
afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon po. Paalala lang po mga viewers po ha,
Oh,
hindi po kami nagla-live selling po ng mga plantitas dyan ha.
original yan na, hindi yan wallpaper.
Yan. Alam mo, nahiya na kaming mag-on cam Sir Melchor kasi ang ganda-ganda ng
Yes.
yung background, di ba, Janet?
Oh, credit to my wife. Creativity niya yan. Siya yung gumawa ng online platform namin para sa
Wow.
webinar.
Wow.
Wow naman. Sana all.
Ang ganda. Ibigay mo na lang yan, sir. Ibigay mo na lang yan sa amin.
Anyway, open naman kami 24/7 para sa selling.
Wow.
Ayun. Ayan.
Okay, sir. Wag na nating patagalin pa. Okay, sir. Paalam muna
Yes.
namin. Hindi ka
Yeah.
namin iiwan, sir.
Hindi ka na
Pero
iiwan.
oo.
Okay.
Paalam lang kami.
Okay. So, sige.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, I would like to express my gratitude to the team of ITED for giving us this opportunity. And shout out to our viewers, especially our beloved Dean, Ma'am Elisa Samson, and all the faculty of MMUC CTE, and of course, all our teachers and students that are present at this time. So, before I start, I would like to call back 10 years ago kasi yung topic ko is digital citizenship. Before, 10 years ago, dalawa lang alam kong digital citizens. Pwedeng maging citizen natin, which is aside from being born as natural born citizen, we can go out from other country and apply for dual citizenship, di ba? Or when we reach 60 years old in this world at magiging senior citizen tayo. So yun lang. But nowadays, we have the so-called digital citizenship na available sa lahat ng mga nag-online, lalo na sa mga millennials, kagaya natin. And this is the digital citizenship that the Google Workspace for Education is very much concerned. Lalo nang karamihan sa atin ngayon nag-online. So that is why this topic is also essential part of Google Certified Education Training. And I would like to present this as an overview. So to make it short, I only have two objectives, which is learn the importance of and benefits of teaching your students about digital citizenship and learn how to become a good digital citizen. Okay, so what is a digital citizenship? According to fierceeducation.com, digital citizenship is defined as the ability to engage with the internet or technology in a safe and meaningful way. So as digital citizens, these are individuals that are very skilled and adept in using a variety of different tools online, especially in Google platform. And lastly, it is the very least that have broad understanding and a basic ability of technology usage. Okay, so why do we teach digital citizenship? So we all know that we cannot escape the fact that our world today is going to be digital in some level. Habang tumatagal ang panahon, padagdag ng padagdag yung mga apps na ginagamit natin, yung mga gadget, and we are surrounded with digital technologies. So our school have always played a key role in teaching our students on how to be good citizens. And now it extends to the digital world as well. So before, we only teach the netiquette and 10 rules of computer use of computer. And nowadays, we have another topic, which is the digital citizenship. So let's get through some of the important things that we need to be doing to make sure that our students have positive experience online. So we need to prepare our students for the global technology demand for the future. And another important key that we need to teach digital citizenship is for us teachers. We need to value good citizenship in the classroom and community. Diba? So because people spend so much time online, it is important to teach students how to stay safe on the web. Especially most of our class nowadays are going through online. So to become a good and responsible digital citizen, students need to practice critical thinking, as they have discussed earlier, and they have to learn how to protect their information and have good privacy habits. The purpose of use of technology helps students learn better, and as a whole, it enables the schools to function better. We have this program as an important step towards ensuring that all students learn, explore, and have a positive experience online. So, what makes a good citizen or a good digital citizen? There are actually 7 points to make it a summary, and I would like to cite some examples of each point. So, number one is how to protect private information for themselves and others. Okay. So as we all know, as we go online, we always share information and we always create things for our digital platform. So we have to be very careful in sharing these informations. Of course, we don't want to share our personal information to other people, especially if we don't know them. Diba? So we should not share detailed information, especially your address, phone number, age, birthday, etc. So how about the password? So we should not share our username or password to anyone, diba? But I have exemption with that. So in my case, I also share my password to my wife, and we usually exchange our cell phones together. So wala namang problem doon, as long as we trust each other. Okay. And then think before you post. Next slide, please. Ayan. So think before you post. So it's just think before you click, di ba? So we don't want to post anything online, and it is now difficult to remove. So once you post it, it will be a permanent. Don't post anything that don't want others to know about or that you won't say to their face. In reality, and in a face-to-face setting, kung ano yung um, etiquette na pinapractice natin, ganun din dapat yung pinapractice natin online. So be respectful of other people's content that you post. And for example, you want to share photo for your best friend, but that photo is not hindi siya kaya-aya para sa friend mo. So dapat you have to ask permission also. Okay? So one of the challenges in addressing this issue is yung privacy. Okay? So we have to balance ano yung dapat at hindi dapat na sinishare natin. Okay? Next is stay safe online. So when do we usually know that we are safe online? So of course, through our mobile devices, we can add lock or key in order to protect our personal information. And then we have to avoid also potential harmful downloads. Yan, lalo na yung mga nagda-downloads from different websites. And then usually may mga viruses na kasama, naka-attach dun sa mga nagda-download natin. So if we are not careful, we don't know how credible yung mga sources natin, it can also harm our computer or devices. And then system updates protect mobile devices. So basically, pag nag-update tayo, it is also essential in updating yung mga issues na na-encounter ng mga manufacturer, idinadagdag nila yun sa security. Okay, so balance time and spent online and using media. So, gaano nga ba katagal yung paggamit ng mga device, lalo-lalo na sa mga bata, na puro online class ang inaatinan nila? So, this is one of the issue that we need to address kasi habang tumatagal, dumadami yung mga effect, yung mga side effects ng mga na-encounter ng mga kabataan natin, especially to our students. So we need to balance. Aside from online, we can also set modular or do some activity outside para ma-exercise, and they can also have other activities. And then carefully manage their digital footprints. So ito nga kanina napag-usapan yung digital footprints. Saan nga ba nakukuha or naipopost yung mga digital footprints na yan? So basically, these are personal information that leaves behind in a digital world through the internet. So it can be intentional or not. Basically, sa email natin, of course, if we send email, automatically nasa-save yan sa inbox ng ating pinapadalhan. And we also have send inbox in our own. So, how about search engine? So, meron din tayong search engine history. So, yung mga sinesearch nyo kung ano-anong topic, actually, naka-store lahat yan sa computer. So, you have to be careful also kung ano yung mga sinesearch na hindi appropriate. So, make it sure that you are responsible in all your activities online. And then, free trial. So, may mga free trial na mga applications, and basically when they share those trial information or application, they are asking for your information. So you have to make sure that yung mga trial version na yan is not a malware or may mga malicious activities na ginagawa sa computer. Okay? And then we also have to give credit sa mga manufacturer. Halimbawa, if we copy those information from the internet, we also need to give credit sa mga creator. Okay? And fair use. So usually fair use, andyan nakakapalob yung open educational resources. And one of my topic to share information that are free. So however, in getting those free information, we need to validate, we need to make sure na walang hidden agenda doon sa mga application na pinapaload doon. No? Ang kagandahan sa Google platform, Google Workspace, maraming mga apps na naka-share doon, naka-include na doon sa Google Workspace, and then you can easily tap and then indicate or include in your Google Classroom. Okay, so we can explore that later on. And then we have, lastly, respect themselves and others. Of course, when you go online, whatever you do, it should always reflect on your personality. Diba? So we have to be careful kung ano yung mga pinopost natin, sinishare or kino-comment. And then, sabi nga, the golden rule, we have to respect begets respect. So, respect other people's feeling, even if it doesn't mean anything to you. It could mean everything to them. Ayan. So, even a very simple gesture, it can also affect other people. So, we have to be careful always. So, sabi nga nila, what the reflection of your digital citizenship reflects your personality in a real world. Okay, so kung gaano tayo kabuti sa real life, dapat i-apply din natin sa online platform. So with that, actually malawak yung topic ng digital citizenship, pero this is just an overview kung paano i-secure yung mga personal information, meron tayong mga topic doon, and then ano pa yung mga possible ways to strengthen our digital information, our becoming a digital citizenship through advanced training. Okay, so at this point, I would like to close my topic. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for
Yeah,
that
Ayun.
short time.
information. Yes, for that information and for enlightening us about digital citizenship. Ika nga nila, Sir Jobel at Sir Melcher, di ba? Sharing is caring, di po ba?
Yeah.
Pero
Yes.
dapat alamin natin kung ano yung isinishare natin. Alam natin kung nakakabuti ba or nakakasama ba sa atin or to others. Di po ba, sir?
Yeah. You know what,
Yes.
ma'am? That this topic is very timely and relevant to our country, the Philippines.
Mm.
Kasi talaga ngayon ang rami nang nagsisikalat na mga poster, mga viruses na kapag i-click mo, merong mangyayari. Di ba nagkaroon tayo ng ganun? This is a very relevant topic that it can educate us that we need to think carefully before we post or before we click.
Dapat
Di ba?
aware tayo. Oo,
Yes,
aware
yes.
tayo sa mga
Opo.
ganyan.
Kaya nga nasabi ni Sir Mel, ang lawak-lawak po ng topic na digital citizenship. Ang pinakita niya lang po sa atin is just a small portion of that or just the overview. That's why if you want to know more about digital citizenship together with Sir Mel, just click our bell button, subscribe ko kayo sa channel natin, at saka
Yes.
mag-like po kayo sa ating Facebook page po so that you will be guided kung kailan po ulit ang mga susunod na events natin. Di ba po?
Yes, sir. For you to be updated, follow our Facebook page, the
Like
ITA
and subscribe.
Group. Like and
Yes,
subscribe.
opo. Of
Yes.
course, yan. Para naman tingnan
And
natin kung, yes ma'am, ano yun
yes,
ma'am?
sir. And to our dear participants, di po ba? This
Yes.
is now your time to ask questions by typing
Before,
them in our
yes.
chat box for our open
Opo.
forum.
Before that, ma'am, tawagin natin ulit ang ating mga
Yes. The
speakers na
speakers.
gagaling. Unahin
Yes.
natin si Sir Reggie who discuss about the overview of workspace. We have also Sir Julius who discuss about the distance learning. And we
Okay.
have also
Sir
as well as Sir
Melcher. Oo,
Melchor, digital citizenship,
dalawa.
at tayo about sa force is. Kaya po sa
Yes.
mga meron pong mga questions po or meron pong mga clarifications, you can ask questions po so that we can answer or entertain them. But before that, ma'am,
Yes.
mag-shout out muna tayo, ma'am.
Yes, sir, sir. Hello kay Sir Noel Clemente. Meron siyang shoutout dito. Good insight, Sir Julius.
Wow, may fancy Sir
Oh,
Julius.
opo. We have also Sir George Bagawisan. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes
And of course,
po.
to Ma'am Eliza Samson.
Yan. Sabi niyo,
Yes.
Ma'am Eliza Samson, congratulations to the ITED team. Such a very good start. Wow,
Thank
nakakataba
you,
naman po yung puso, ma'am,
ma'am.
for that.
Yes.
Ayun. So,
Meron bang question, sir?
alam mo, ma'am, isa lang po yung rason kung bakit hindi sila nag-a-ask ng question. Bakit mo? Alam mo, ma'am, kung bakit? Kasi po, our speakers discuss brilliantly and comprehensively
Yes.
about their topics. Kaya po siguro sobrang wala po silang questions for these topics. Kaya kudos, palakpakan naman natin mga speakers natin for today for delivering
Gagaling.
their topics. Ang
Yes,
gagaling,
ang
ang
gagaling.
gagaling nila. Not to be biased kasi member ako ng team na to, but really
Yes.
I learn a lot from this one. So dahil
Yes.
dyan, Ma'am Janet, walang nagtatanong anong gagawin natin.
Ay, meron akong surprise question, sir. Ganon. Kung walang nagtatanong, magkakaroon ng surprise question.
Akala ko ako lang ang nagso-surprise. Pero uli palang paandar si Ma'am Janet na surprise.
Meron, sir.
Sige, ma'am, bring it
Opo.
on.
Ang gagaling kasi ng mga speaker natin, sir. Kaya, yun, very clear yung mga insights nila, yung mga overview about their topics. That is why, eto yung question ko, sir, sa mga speakers natin.
Ayun.
Okay, in just one word, mga sirs, describe Google.
Yeah, we are referring the Google Workspace for Education.
Yes.
Just one word. Yan. Pwede rin yung mga participants natin. Gusto natin mag-participate rin yung mga participants natin. Not only the speakers, but also our participants. In just
Yes.
one word now that we learn about Google Workspace for Education. What is Google Workspace for Education? Ayan, Ma'am Janet, sino unahin mo?
Sir, of course, si Sir Reggie, siya yung naunang speaker natin, di po ba? So, si
Ano ba
Sir
yung
Reggie,
Ano po ba yung arrangement, ma'am? Is it
from the
ano
first
lang?
speaker na.
Akala ko by
Business
age.
speaker.
Pero
Surprise.
ba, may category ba na by age, by beauty, or gano'n?
Binigla
Huwag
mo
nang
ako, Teacher
alamin yung
Jumel.
age, sir. Okay, Sir Reg.
Oo.
If I were to describe Google Workspace for Education, that is dynamic. Because the Google Workspace gives us so many tools for us teachers, educators, students to use in a dynamic world. I believe that the educational landscape is dynamic. We need to be adaptive to the changes of time, and we need also to be adaptive with these changes in technology so that we can use this in our professional development and personal growth. And I thank you.
May nanalo na, Sir Jubel. May nanalo na. In just
Oo
one
nga,
word,
mali-
may explanation
Mali
pa.
yata yung nauna sa atin eh. Kinuha na.
Okay.
But
Pero
tama yun
nabigla
po.
ko dyan sa,
Parang Miss Universe, no?
I agree with
nabigla
that,
ko dyan
ma'am.
sa mga,
Pero I agree with the one word that it's very dynamic. Tama 'yun na every now and then nagkakaroon tayo ng update sa Google for Education na
Yes.
na it will satisfy the demands kung ano yung kailangan natin. So that's a very good point to hear that it's dynamic. How about Sir Mel? Ay, si Sir Julius muna pala. Sir Julius muna.
Yung Julius nagtago.
Ay,
Ayun.
Hello.
Sir Julius.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
For a moment,
sir.
connecting. Okay na, okay na.
Okay
Yes,
na, sir.
sir.
All right. For me, one word to describe Google Workspace is it's inclusive. Inclusive in the sense that before we are very afraid to use this platform because we thought that it's expensive. We thought that we cannot able to use it with the fear of having slow connectivity to the internet. We are afraid to use it and to try it because because we have differences, right? But you see, the use of Google Workspaces has been retrofitted in such a way that it is already inclusive in nature. So I would describe the use of this platform as inclusive.
Wow.
Yes. Dami-dami.
Opo.
Nandyan na.
Alam mo yung word na maliban sa inclusive na naririnig ko kay Sir Julius, yung retrofit
Retrofit.
talaga, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Yun talaga yung talagang pasok sa banga na
Yes.
description ni
A
Sir Julius.
process. Oo. A process of giving new features. Di po ba? Yun.
Yes. Opo.
Yes. Then we have
Ayan.
also Sir Mel. Sir Melcher. Sir Melcher.
Okay. I would like to describe Google platform or workspace as amazing.
Amazing. Wow.
Amazing. So, unang-una kasi ang dami niyang pasabog. In just one Google Workspace, ini-integrate na niya yung mga iba't ibang tools. Kasi dati, ang unang ginagamit yung Google Classroom, hindi ko masyadong in-explore kasi ang dami-daming pinupuntahan ng mga application tapos magsa-sign in ka na naman. Pero ngayon, ini-integrate na niya. So, in just one classroom, pwede ka nang mag-add ng mga different applications. Andun na lahat. So, hindi na malilito yung mga students na pupunta sa iba't ibang application. So, aside from that, every now and then, ini-improve niya ano yung mga kailangan ng mga teachers and students. Sinasama na niya lahat doon. Nakikinig siya sa mga kailangan ng mga teachers and students tapos in-improve. Even yung Google Meet. So, malaki na improvement niya ngayon. Ayan. So,
Okay.
kaya
Yun.
Google is amazing.
Oh,
Sir Jubel,
kung kay
there you
Sir-
have it. Ang
Yeah,
gagaling ng mga
gagaling
ng mga
nila talaga
speakers
to.
natin. So, we would like hindi na
Wait
tayo
lang, ma'am.
mag-ano,
Hindi,
hindi ka na.
ma'am. Kahit na surprise quiz mo yan, tatanungin rin kita, ma'am. Sa'yo naman, Ma'am Janet, ano naman ang one word na pwede nating describe sa Google Workspace for Education?
For me, sir, one word na lang, without discussion, without explanation na lang. Di po ba, sa akin, Google is a friend.
Ah, is a friend.
Oo, friend na lang.
Dagdagan
Oh, di
natin,
po
ma'am.
ba?
Sige, dalawa tayo.
Mm-mm.
Google is a friend and free. Di ba yung favorite
Oo,
word
friend
ko?
and free. FF.
Yes, it's free kasi.
GFF.
Ayun.
Okay, so
So,
there you have it, Sir Jubel. Ano na, wow, dito sa comments box natin, Sir Jubel,
ano po?
si Sir Wilbert Pagtakunan.
Kunan.
Shout out, Sir. Congrats, Sir Melcher, and
Wilden.
to the team.
Yes.
Yes. Galing
Yes
kay Ma'am
po.
Betty
Thank
de
you.
la Cruz. Correct po, Sir Jubel.
Ayun.
Yan.
Opo. So before we will be giving the evaluation form natin, gusto ko lang pong sabihin sa ating mga participants na tayo amin nga Ilocano, no kasapulan nyo titulong kadeti nga grupo, no kayat yung nga may kang kayo ti trainings or webinars regarding Google Workspace or on the use of technology. We are here hand in hand to support and help you. We are here to inspire, we are here to transform you and to educate you the utilization of technology. And that
Yes,
is
sir.
for my favorite word, free. Yun po.
That's free. Yes. Again po, thank you so much for joining. And we are expecting po na all of you in our events po, nandyan po kayo. Because we, the ITA Group, will continue to help and serve everyone to uplift better teaching and learning using Google tools.
Yan po.
Okay.
So habang hinintay po namin kayo, so nandyan po sa inyong screen ngayon ang evaluation link. So pwede rin pong i-share ni Sir Reggie mamaya sa ating comment box for easy access of the evaluation link. So may I request you, our dear participants, to fill out this form, not only just to get an e-certificate, but also to help us to improve better to serve you. So, ang mga comments ninyo po ay very importante. Kasi nga po, gusto namin po na i-cater ang aming mga services sa inyo to the
True.
best of our ability. Yan po, sinend na
Yes,
po ni Sir
sir.
Reggie.
That is true, Sir Jubel. So from there this concludes our event.
Opo.
Yun na.
Yes
So,
po. So, any
meron
final
po
words
ba?
to our founder? Siyempre po,
Yes, Sir Reggie Fabro.
spotlight yung ating founder. Sir
Alright.
Reggie.
Thank you, Teacher Jubel and Teacher Janet. So thank you for giving me the spotlight to talk on my behalf as the founder for this non-profit organization. So ITA Group, Iloco Tech Support Group, we believe that from the letters, inspire, transform, educate, we are bringing this to the Ilocos community so that we can help them provide assistance and support in terms of technological trainings and webinars as well. So thank you very much to each and everyone.
Ayun. So, as we end this webinar for today, before we end, the reminder po, if you want to know more about ITA Group and if you want to stay updated on our next webinar, kindly like our page, which is the ITA Iloco Tech Support Group, para po ma-notify kayo sa mga susunod na webinar natin. So makakasama nyo pa rin po sina Sir Melcher, Sir Julius, Sir Reggie, Ma'am Janet at ako po for our next more webinars for Ilocano community.
Yes, that is true, sir. So thank you everyone, to our participants, and of course thank you again to our dear speakers. We really appreciate your effort and your expertise. Yes. So yun na po, ang hirap pong magpaalam.
Kaya
Thank you very much, Sir
Thank you.
Julius, Sir Lord,
Yes, thank you
Sir
po.
Jubel, and Ma'am
Have a
Janet.
good day, everyone. Keep safe, everyone.
bye
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
ITED, Ilocotech Support Group, Ilocos Trainers, educators and developers. Inspire and support diversity toward inclusive growth. Transform and empower individuals with ethics and professionalism. Educate and provide holistic developments and trainings. ITED, a local tech support group.